Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming back. It is Malt Liquor Monday. And today at Hopped Up Beer Review, we are drinking King Cobra from Anheuser-Busch Brewing out of St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you for joining us.
King Cobra, malt liquor in my hand, bite on my tongue, heat in my chest. I keep losing every promise that I planned, but I still chase that burn, that cheap fake rest. King Cobra creeping up my spine.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. It is another Macro Monday / Malt Liquor Macro Monday here on Hopped Up Beer Review. We are idiots. There is Jay. There is Andy in the attic. I'm Ben. Why do we
Who
do
had
this
this idea?
ourselves?
I mean, look, my bottle is even this freaking tall. I mean, come on.
It's the person who
What?
has the mustache, is all I can say.
All
Malt
three of us have
Liquor
mustaches.
Monday.
All three of us have mustaches.
Right.
Who's
What are we
got the
drinking?
porn stash?
What are we drinking?
I'm not even going to say it.
King Cobra. King Cobra Malt Liquor. Premium. I don't see what y'all are upset about. It says it must be good if it says premium.
Is this the first twist top we've had on the show? Like a bottle, not we've done like
I mean,
a Budweiser or something.
I'll be honest, mine didn't even fizz. It just went shh. Like, oh, this is
Well, I got these for all of us.
no, it's got carbonation, but
Okay.
it didn't fizz. It's not like it's going to spew like the beer I had last night. It had been on like 3 flights.
It even puts it on the crown, you know? That's premium.
We see where they spent their money.
We haven't even tried
Oh
it.
my God.
Give it a chance.
Andrew.
What is that?
And you're putting it in that glass. I can't believe you.
Formaldehyde?
Let's get this one over with. Cheers, mates.
Down the hatch.
Cheers, mates.
Yeah.
That is a throwback.
Like, you want to throw your head back and vomit? That's a throw up.
That would be one way to look at it. I would say it's probably more of a throwback to the formative years of growing up.
I'm going to put the top back on this one to keep it fresh and thin.
I guess that's the bonus. You can put it back in the fridge after you put it.
Yeah. Save it for tomorrow.
Oh, gosh.
Let's dive in.
Let's
At least
do.
we don't have 40 ounces. We only have 32.
Yeah.
Because of the state of Mississippi.
We finally did something right.
Yeah.
God.
It's like, guys, if it comes in 40 ounces, it's crap. So let's not give that much. King Cobra Malt Liquor is 6% ABV. It was introduced in 1984 by Anheuser-Busch, replacing Budweiser Malt Liquor that had launched in 1972.
How long was it around? Was it around until this came along?
It was launched in 1972.
So Budweiser Malt Liquor stopped in 1972, so we never got to experience that.
Budweiser Malt Liquor launched in 1972. It was replaced in 1984 by King Cobra Malt Liquor. We technically could have tried it. I doubt we did, seeing that we would have been 6 years old.
6 or 7, yeah. I mean, that's what I was asking. I mean, this replaced it, so we never got to experience the Bud Light or the Budweiser
Malt Liquor.
It's a damn shame.
The name and branding, King Cobra, and powerful, strong snake. is due to a trend from the 1960s through the 80s of giving malt liquors aggressive animal names to signal extra strength and kick. Snakes have a lot of kick.
Can we name some of the other ones in that time frame? I mean, Colt 45 wasn't there.
Colt 45. It had a bull.
Well, you're right. All right. Okay.
Not a bull.
I don't know if you remember the history of Colt 45 and why.
I don't. I try to forget that.
Okay.
You don't pay attention.
Link.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll put a link down below for everybody to review that.
Yeah.
Malt Liquor Monday Colt 45 example.
King Cobra malt liquor never caught up with the likes of, as we mentioned, Colt 45 or Old English 800 in sales. Interesting.
Man, this is going down so smooth. I got to pour some more.
It's uses barley malt and unmalted grains, corn, with corn syrup, rice, hops, hop extract, and malt extract, with a warmer fermentation to give a fruity aroma, sweet finish, and bold flavor.
I've got it.
Fruity aroma.
Malt liquor is the hot dog of beer. Scrape up all the grains and everything else, put it together.
It's like the crap that fell off from Budweiser.
I know.
And Bud Light.
Scrape it all together and brew it up.
Or they reuse the mash or something instead of giving it straight to the cows. You're just like, oh, let's just redo this and throw some other stuff in it. Call it malt liquor. Fruity aroma, sweet finish, and bold flavor.
Fruity aroma. No.
They stopped advertising for King Cobra in 1997, which makes sense because I don't remember ever seeing this advertised. And I just saw it in the store one day when I was looking for crap beer for us to try. So I was like, that's a winner.
Come on now. That's not fair. You say crap beer.
Crap, not craft, crap.
But you got to think about that. All right, so 97, we probably saw some ads for that back in our formative years.
I mean, that's when it kind of stopped. I mean, we watched enough sports,
Yeah, I mean, I would think so.
I just don't remember seeing it. In 1996, Anheuser-Busch added Hurricane high gravity malt liquor. And now the Hurricane is its primary brand. Why they got two malt liquors going, I don't know.
So I have that. I haven't shared it with you guys, but that's one of those things we're going to talk about for the future.
Yeah, so you may have to supply the Hurricane because I haven't seen it down here.
So you can get the King Cobra, but I can't, and I can get the Hurricane, but you can't.
I can get the crappier of the crap malt liquors from Anheuser-Busch.
Have you had the Hurricane yet?
No. Like I said, I only heard about it when we started doing this Malt Liquor Monday, and you mentioned it, and I was like, I never heard of it.
Oh, I've had it before.
This is, oh gosh, I can't remember how many Anheuser-Busch we've done, but it's been a while since we've done. St. Louis, Missouri, originally called Bavarian Brewery, and then it was called E. Anheuser and Company in 1860. So it was founded in 1852, and that's when it was the Bavarian Brewery. And then Anheuser renamed it in 1860. Then it became the Anheuser-Busch Brewing Associates in 1879. George Schneider opened Bavarian Brewery in 1852, as I mentioned. But he had some monetary funding problems, and that's when he sold it to a local pharmacist who was the silent partner. His name was William de Unch. And Eberhard, that's a cool name, Eberhard Anheuser. I wonder if the B is pronounced like a V, like, sort of Everhard or Eberhard. I don't know, but that's a cool name. Anheuser, who was a soap manufacturer. Then the silent partner, who was the pharmacist Dunch, sold his half to Adolphus Busch in 1869. Adolphus Busch married Eberhard's daughter, and her name was Lily. And in 1861, Busch, if you recall, served in the Civil War, returned as a salesman in Anheuser-Busch. That's how he kind of made his way in to the family business, not to Lily. And he worked as the company secretary after purchasing it in 1869 until Anheuser's death. So Busch was the first American brewer to use pasteurization to keep the beer fresh. First to use mechanical refrigeration and refrigerated railroad cars. That was pretty cool. Now, we mentioned this in our Macro Monday of Budweiser. Remember, Anheuser-Busch had toured Europe in the 1870s to study changes in brewing methods over there, particularly the Pilsner. And that's when he discovered Budweiser in Budweis, the Czech Republic, or Czechia. Yeah, so a lot of still ongoing lawsuits over that one. If y'all want a cool history, look into that one. Budweiser, Hopped Up Beer Review from,
3 years ago.
Was that 20?
3.5. Would have been one of the first.
It's over 3.5. Yeah, it was. And so in 2008, that's when they sold to InBev. Became AB InBev. Sorry it was so long. I knew I would want this to warm up to open up more flavors.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So there's a guy named Sven who had this on Untapped, and he said it's a light version of Duval, which, I'm sorry, Sven, I disagree.
Sven.
But, it's also, if you look at Untapped, it's a 2024 winner of the silver medal for malt liquor and 2025 for the bronze. So, Andy, you've got us into something that's uncharted.
Award winners. I'm picking out award winners left and right. I'm detecting a little bile in this.
All right.
Refreshing mine so it can maybe stay cold.
Yeah. Has anybody had this before?
Probably, but I'm not going to claim that.
Well, Andy, since you got us into this mess,
I've talked enough.
You're going to have to lead us out of it.
I will be happy to go first, Andrew. This is a true malt liquor, premium malt liquor. It is very light. I would not compare it to anything that would be European, as Sven said.
Sven.
And it's, I mean, if you've had a lot to drink, this is probably easy drinking and would go down and continue your buzz, especially at 6% alcohol. So if you're just wanting to keep a buzz going, okay, you can have this. Otherwise, I would not seek it out at all. This will be probably a 3 for me.
Wow. It's going to be one of the lower scores that Jay has given. Andy, what do you think?
This beer is bad. It's worse than Steel Reserve and malt liquor.
Fruit Force?
It's pushing Fruit Force. Yeah, the more I try it, like the first couple sips it had a dry finish almost, but not in a good way. But it's a chemical taste in there, which is very reminiscent of Fruit Force. And some of the other, I can't remember what that one beer, it was a fruity beer that we had, and it was in a mixed pack. And I can't remember if it was that Cigar City pack, but it was like, it reminded me of if AI said a fruit beer and AI tried to make a malt liquor, and it's got it right. The early stages of AI where it did that, everybody's like morphing fingers and limbs everywhere. Yeah, it's chemical. I don't want to have more. I don't want to have another one ever again. I'll give it and I still think Fruit Force is the worst we've had.
I'll agree with you there.
And I know I gave that like a 2, a 2.5, somewhere around that. I give this a 2.
This is not horrible. I mean, it's still drinkable, but some of the
we'll say,
like fruit.
Jay, you've
Fruit
had
Force
more
was-
beers tonight than I have, so maybe that's why you are putting favor upon this. I'm just going to give it a 2. More as a warning for me to the future me looking at my Untapped, and somebody's like, "Hey, have you had a King Cobra?" And I'm like, "Yes, I have," because evidently, because sometimes these things erase your memory because it's 32 ounces.
All right. Well, I don't know what you guys are talking about because this beer is great. No, this is terrible. Yeah, I think that Andy, you said one of the things I was going to bring up is the first couple of sips on the back end. It definitely was like a chemical, almost like a hand sanitizer type taste and burn. It was really weird. That was the first thing I noticed when I took that first sip. And granted, it wasn't, as strong as like that kind of alcohol, but it definitely had just kind of a weird chemically taste on it. And it has kind of, for me, kind of tailed off as I've had more of it. I don't really want any more of it. But
it's because you've numbed your taste buds.
Yeah. But it still has that dryness in the back of your mouth, and it's not good. For me, I don't think this is anywhere near Fruit Force. I think Fruit Force is horrendous.
I agree.
I think this is bad, but to me, it's a lot of corn still. I really get a lot of that corn, adjunct, and maybe even a little grit from where they did scrape things off the floor, to reprocess that malt.
It's the sausage or the hot dog of beer.
Yeah. So it's bad for me. It's not as bad as some of the things we've had necessarily. I don't want it again. But I think this one for me is probably a 4. Like, again, I think we've had a lot worse overall.
Yeah.
So
it's a higher rating than I would have thought for you.
Yeah, I mean, again,
expecting that from you, especially drinking it warm.
Yeah. So, yeah,
it reminds me of like a middle school science fair, and somebody's like, "I'm going to do home brewing," and this is what they did, and it's like you get disqualified, kid, but it's like it's beer like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of like times when we were all in high school and you're all going out and you can go to the bootlegger and grab something that was big and cheap.
I never did that, so I don't know what you're talking about. But I would think, yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know. It's just you don't want it if you're out there watching the show. And I think Jay, you mentioned, hey, if you're gonna have something to end the night because you just need something to keep it going, I can only imagine how bad you're going to feel the next day if you drink too much of this stuff. I just, it's not good, folks.
If you're just wanting to keep a buzz going, maybe, but I would stick with. Honestly, I can't even recommend staying with domestics because
just go sniff your gas tank if you want to keep it going.
I would just go ahead and go to sleep. I mean,
Yeah, I'd in fact and say if you're out there and you're watching this and you see somebody walking out of the store with one of these or a Fruit Force, I mean, do them a favor and ask them what they're doing with their life, because they're sitting where you need to be.
Oh, I review beers on YouTube. No, don't do it.
Fair point. Fair point. Don't do this with your life either. All right. For the King Cobra malt liquor on Malt Liquor Monday, that's going to be a 3. Why we do this particular segment, I do not know, but we can attribute it to the person who has Atticus right behind him, and some green lights and reviews out of his
Porn stash.
There you go. So thank you to that individual for suggesting that we do malt liquors for 2026. I'm really hoping we run out of malt liquor options pretty soon, because this has been fun, but this is our 3rd. So anyway, if you're out there watching and you have enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. We would definitely appreciate that. Man, I don't even want to drink any more of this stuff. We got other links down below for Hopped Up Beer Review merch, Hopped Up Beer Review Discord. It's a chat room. Come say hey. And yeah, I think that's enough. Let's get this over with. For Andy and the Attic and Jay, I'm Ben. Happy Malt Liquor Monday, gentlemen. Cheers, mates.
Cheers.
There's nothing happy about this.
King Cobra malt liquor in my hand, bite on my tongue, heat in my chest. I keep losing every promise that I planned, but I still chase that burn, that cheap fake rest. King Cobra creeping up my